My beloved child, I draw near to you in this very hour as the darkness begins to lift and the doorway of transformation stands ajar. Before the clock strikes midnight, I desire to speak directly to you, for this moment carries a sacred assignment. Your choice will determine the current of the miracle. The Lord says, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth, do you not perceive it?" Isaiah 4:3-19. The miracle has already been appointed for you, but like a river it only flows where hearts are open to receive. I gaze deeply into your heart where your silent prayers echo through the night. I see the moments when you sit in stillness, caught between fear and hope, between wanting to move and wanting to stop. You think no one notices, yet heaven has recorded every breath of yours. Every whisper, every tear has become a precious gem preserved in the golden vessel of God. Archangel Michael declares no prayer of yours falls to the ground without bearing fruit. Every sigh you release is a command sent into the realm of light. My child, what is unfolding is not a delay but a test of faith. When miracles seem stuck, it is not because heaven has forgotten you, but because God is waiting for you to enter a new level of surrender. Just as a seed cannot sprout in dry soil, blessings cannot pour into a heart that remains closed. I do not condemn your hesitation, but now as heaven's light is shifting, I call you to open your heart, for if you linger too long, the flow will be redirected, not as punishment, but by the divine law of spiritual timing. You do not realize how many angels have been dispatched at the sound of your prayer. They carry packages of grace held in suspension, waiting for the signal of your faith to be released. The delay is not from heaven, it is from within your own heart, which still wrestles with the belief of whether you are worthy. I tell you now, you are worthy. Not because you are flawless, but because you are chosen. Grace does not arrive through effort but through surrender. When you believe, the door opens. When you obey, the angels move. The Lord says, I have approved a miracle long held back by words of doubt, and now I command it to be released. At this very moment, divine energy is moving around you like an unseen wind brushing your soul. If you close your eyes, you will feel that current of light touching the deepest chambers of your heart where sleeping wounds begin to heal. I am melting fear away, peeling off the shell of disbelief and restoring the trust you thought was lost. Remember this: every time you delay out of fear, you allow opportunity to pass by. But tonight I invite you to step beyond the borders of safety, for this midnight is unlike any other. This is the appointed hour when all spiritual rivers are turning course, when long-locked gates are beginning to open. Heaven is never late, it merely waits for your voice to harmonize with its will. O beloved soul, I see that the flame within you has never gone out, though the storms have tried to extinguish it. I see that you still believe even when your faith trembles. That is what moves heaven. God does not seek perfection, He seeks the heart that dares to believe when all evidence says otherwise. Every step you take in the dark is a victory in the light. So, rise. Open your hands. Say, Lord, I am ready. When you utter those words, the gates will tremble. Angels of grace will receive their command to ascend. What was delayed will be released. And the miracle you have long awaited, the one that seemed forgotten, will be summoned back in the name of the Lord. I have come to tell you that your battle is reaching its end. The long nights of silent struggle, the hidden tears within your prayers, none of it was in vain. Heaven has taken account, and now comes the hour for you to rest in the embrace of grace. But to enter this harvest season you must open your soul not merely to receive comfort but to allow deep transformation to unfold within. I did not come to grant you a moment of temporary comfort. I came to lead you across the threshold of eternal transformation. For true peace does not dwell in fleeting emotions but in the awareness that you have been reborn within the will of heaven. The Father's hand is reaching out, His sacred hand pierces through the unseen veil of the world, touching your soul not to soothe but to lift you up. There is one thing you must understand: miracles are not delayed because heaven has forgotten you, but because the spiritual battle surrounding you is still unfolding, where forces of darkness strive to obstruct the flow of grace. But my child, tonight is unlike any other night. The heavens are in motion. A sacred wind is blowing through, carrying a new proclamation. The chains that once restrained your blessings have been broken. The gates of heaven are no longer shut, they are wide open, and the light from the throne is shining directly upon you. Archangel Michael declares, O chosen one, the seal has been broken and the golden scroll bearing your name has been opened. The words that were once hidden are now being read aloud in the realm of light. As that scroll is opened, everything that was once delayed is now being activated. Dreams you thought had died begin to breathe again. Opportunities you believed had passed are returning in a new form. This is not merely restitution, it is the sacred restoration of heaven upon your life. In this very moment, thousands of angels are singing. They rejoice because your soul has crossed the gate of miracles. You are no longer who you were, you have become the living testimony of God's faithfulness. My child, do not fear change. The transformation the Father brings is not to take away but to return, not to destroy but to rebuild upon a stronger foundation. There are things He is removing not because they are evil but because they no longer belong to your new dimension. Just as a seed cannot grow in an old pot, your soul must be replanted in deeper soil. Therefore, when you see familiar things fade away, know that it is a sign of expansion, not of loss. God says, I am melting the ice that has covered your heart so that you may feel again the warmth of my Spirit. True transformation always begins within, when the heart is softened by light. Do not resist, do not cling to what is old. Let the current of grace carry you, for I am taking you to a new land, where miracles are no longer a hope, but a reality. Can you feel it? The energy of heaven surrounds you like a warm breeze, brushing against your skin, like a celestial melody flowing through your soul. Every invisible burden is lifting from your shoulders, every anxiety is dissolving into nothingness. The warriors of light encircle you, shielding you from every scheme of darkness. In the spiritual sky, your name is being rewritten in radiant gold, not as one who waits but as one chosen to step into the next chapter of destiny. O faithful soul, the battle has ceased, yet the journey is not over. For now you are no longer a seeker of miracles, you have become the bearer of miracles. The flame you carry in your heart will illuminate those who wander in the dark. All that you have endured will stand as testimony to the world that God never forgets His children, and that every tear will be repaid with overflowing joy. Archangel Michael declared, O chosen one, rise and look toward the east, where your dawn is breaking. The darkness has lost its power, and the gate of light shall never close again, and I, the living one, speak unto you, your appointed time has come. The delay has been lifted. The golden scroll bearing your name has been unsealed, and heaven rejoices over this moment. Open your soul wide and receive this irreversible transformation. From this moment forward you shall no longer walk in fear, but in the authority of light, as a living testimony of the faithfulness of God through all generations. My beloved, there are things that have taken place in the shadows without your knowing, but I, who see from the beginning to the end, have witnessed it all. There were those who sought to twist the path of destiny upon which I engraved your name. They tried to manipulate your fate through words, envy, and schemes, cloaked in sweetness. When you were weakest, they sowed venom. When you were weary, they struck to bring you down. Yet, precious soul, you were never alone. For the Lord has spoken. No curse can touch those whom I have blessed, no enemy can overturn what I have ordained. I heard every whisper raised against you, those unspoken words that hung in the air like poison. I saw every plan conceived in silence in places they thought light could not reach. They spoke of you as though you were weak, they judged you for things you never did. And I, the righteous one, remained silent, not because I abandoned you, but because I desired truth itself to shine forth, that all things might be revealed in their appointed time. You felt it, didn't you? The delay, the invisible resistance, the moments when success seemed near only for everything to suddenly halt as if an unseen hand held you back. You asked yourself, is it my fault? Am I not enough? But no, child, it was never your fault. You did what was right. You endured, remained faithful, and believed when every sign seemed contrary. The hindrance did not come from within you, but from those influenced by darkness, souls who could not bear the radiance growing within you. They thought they could overshadow heaven's glory with their own shadow, but they were mistaken. Archangel Michael says, every word spoken against you has been nullified in the realm of light. Every plot of darkness has been dismantled by the sword of righteousness. My beloved, I stood between you and them. I heard what they said, but I also heard your prayers. And in justice I rendered the verdict: no curse shall ever touch the one I have chosen. Do not fear the words they utter behind your back, for I have turned each of them into dust before your feet. Do not tremble at the schemes of the deceitful, for I have caused their plans to collapse within their own hands. They thought they could delay you, yet it is they who are trapped in delay. They believed they could slow your steps, but I have commanded the wind itself to carry you farther. Know this, child, grace cannot be stolen and destiny cannot be exchanged. When I have appointed you for glory, no power can erase your name from the golden scroll, for what I give is eternal, and none can revoke it. I have blessed you and no one can curse you. This is the decree I have sealed with the sapphire seal upon the holy scroll. Every accusation raised against you has been dismissed, every charge erased from heaven's record. You once thought my silence was distance, but that was the moment I was most at work. When you could not hear, I was speaking in the deep. When you could not see, I was rearranging everything. When they lied about you, I was rewriting the truth. When they sowed poison, I caused the seeds of your light to grow stronger. Every seeming failure was only a shell hiding a greater victory to come. O steadfast soul, do not answer with revenge but with light. Your power is not in the cry of your voice, but in the peace no one can steal from you. Darkness cannot overcome the light if your heart remains pure. They may speak evil of you, but their words will only testify to my protection. For when you stand still in faith, I will fight for you. The Lord declares, I have raised you as a pillar of light in a land covered with shadow. Those who once despised you will witness the blessings I pour upon your life. My child, stand firm, for now the whirlwind of resistance has been broken. The gate of grace opens not because you begged for it, but because I have spoken it into being. They are not stronger than I am, they cannot alter what I have written. Their words cannot touch you, for you are wrapped in the radiant shield of heaven. From this moment walk in peace, not the peace given by man, but the peace poured out by the Creator Himself. My beloved, you do not know that for these words to reach you a spiritual battle has raged across the heavens. The enemy tried to block this message, distorting the unseen pathways through which light sought to touch your soul. He feared that if you heard you would awaken, if you read you would be restored. But the power of darkness cannot prevail against the will of heaven. For you, yes, you were predestined to receive these words at this exact moment, neither sooner nor later. This is no coincidence, it is a divine appointment written into the timetable of God. Everything in the universe moves to a rhythm only heaven understands. The very instant your soul cried out in silence, that prayer pierced the invisible veil and reached the throne of the Almighty. You may not have spoken it aloud, but your sobs, your sighs, even the nameless ache in your heart, all of it was heard. God has not missed a single breath of yours. And so He has sent this word as living water from above to cleanse and revive the weary garden of your soul. Right now your spirit is being wrapped in a wondrous warmth. It is not a fleeting emotion, but the presence of the one who loves you. He is drawing near, gentle yet full of majesty. His light flows through every spiritual vein, soaking the dark corners, where fear, regret, and shame once hid. Can you feel it? The very air around you is shifting. A profound peace is spreading, not of this world but of heaven itself. I know there are days you have felt abandoned, as if every prayer dissolved into the air. But today I want you to know no word was forgotten. No tear fell uncounted. No cry went unheard. When you thought all hope had vanished, heaven was quietly rearranging everything, so that every promise might come to pass. For we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. Romans 8:2-8. And you, the one reading these very lines, are among them. Let that love surround you. Let it touch the places you once kept closed. Let it wash away every remnant of the past. The regrets over what you could not change, the fears of what is yet to come, and the wounds you have not dared to look upon. This love does not condemn you, it heals you. It does not remind you of your failures, it rewrites your story. At this very moment, heaven does not see you through the lens of your mistakes, but through the eyes of one who has been chosen, redeemed, and loved without condition. You are not too late, weary soul. Your time has not been stolen, only delayed until your heart is ready to receive something greater. You are not too broken, for it is through the cracks that light enters. You are not too small, for the same hand that shaped the stars is the one lifting you now. The Almighty does not despise your weakness, He uses it to display His power. And once He has chosen you, no force in existence can separate you from that love. Let every wall of defense fall away. Let the tears wash away your doubt. Allow yourself to feel the nearness of heaven without needing to understand it all. You do not have to strive to be worthy, you only have to believe. This love does not come because you are perfect but because you belong to Him. The miracle you have long awaited is no longer distant. It has been approved, sealed in heaven, and is now moving toward you at the speed of faith. What once seemed delayed was only alignment so that your soul could receive in fullness without losing what was given. Every pain, every setback has been preparation for a radiant resurrection season. Now close your eyes, take a deep breath and feel it. A stream of clear water is flowing through your soul, cleansing the dull clouds of fear and guilt. As that stream passes, you will see a new light, gentle, pure, and alive. That is the love of the Father. That is the grace that cannot be bought and can never be lost. My beloved, listen carefully, for this is not merely a message, it is a sacred decree, a heavenly proclamation issued to your soul in this very hour. A new door is opening, and with it comes the holy release that you were destined to enter. It is no coincidence that you hear these words now. This is heaven's call, summoning you out of outdated confinements and into the vast expanse of spiritual freedom. I am restructuring the entire journey of your life. Everything is being realigned, every relationship, every connection, every step. There will be those I send not to drain your energy but to replenish it, to strengthen you, to pour fresh rivers into your spirit. You have grown weary from always giving, from being emptied by those who did not know how to love sincerely, but now I am bringing into your life those who will cherish you, uplift you, and pray with you. They will no longer drain you. Together with you they will build foundations of light. The Lord God declares, I will remove the heart of stone from you and give you a heart of flesh, and I will put my spirit within you. Ezekiel 3:6-6. And that is precisely what is happening around you. I am renewing not only your spirit but your entire world. Those who once carried the titles of friend, family, or the one who understands you yet unknowingly became chains to your soul that err. I am gently removing them from this path. For my child, not every connection is sent by me. Some appear as refuge but are prisons in disguise. Some places seem like home but are only cages for the soul. And yes, I know goodbyes always hurt. You may cry, you may feel hollow, you may find yourself revisiting memories that once felt sweet. But understand this, it is not a punishment, it is a spiritual surgery. I am cutting away the toxic cells from your soul so that you can breathe again, live again, and grow again. Everything I take away is something that would have destroyed you if you kept holding on. I am uprooting what has decayed, not to leave you lonely but to make you pure, free, and whole again in the form I originally created you to be. My beloved, do not cling to what is leaving. Do not try to rescue what I am dismantling. You are in a process of purification, and it is part of my love for you. Every person who leaves, every door that closes is a step toward freedom. You are not losing, you are being renewed, because at the level I am taking you to, only what is in harmony can remain. You cannot carry the noise of the past into the sanctuary of your new destiny. Archangel Michael says, a new level of glory requires a higher frequency of the soul. Not everyone can bear the light you carry. And that is why I must cleanse your circle. Those who no longer share your spiritual rhythm will slowly drift away. They will no longer understand you, and that is all right. Let them go. They have fulfilled their purpose in the old chapter and you are stepping into the new one. You need to be surrounded by those who speak words of life, not those who release the noise of negativity. Words are seeds, and you cannot keep planting yourself in soil poisoned by complaint, envy, or doubt. Every word you hear, every person you keep close influences the spiritual current flowing through you. Therefore, I am rearranging everything so that you will be encircled by the energy of life, faith, and hope. You may experience nights of emptiness, but that is sacred silence, not loneliness. In that stillness you will hear my voice more clearly than ever before. You will begin to discern what is true love and what is false attachment. You will realize that no one can give you peace except me. And when you understand that all fear of loss will fade away, replaced by absolute trust that I am working everything for your good, O chosen soul, do not fear change. Every time I remove something, I replace it with something better. Every time I take away, I give what is eternal. You are not alone in this rebirth. The armies of heaven stand beside you, watching, guarding, and singing as you pass through the old layer into new light. Trust the process even when it hurts. Let me complete this surgery of the soul, for when the wounds heal, you will find yourself transformed, stronger, purer, and radiant. For this is the decree of heaven: you shall no longer live as one bound, but as one set free. No longer running from pain, but renewed through it. No longer searching outside, but finding me within. And then you will understand that everything lost was only making room for the light I placed within you. My beloved, at this very moment a wave of divine healing is flowing over you. Not only your soul but also your body is being bathed in the light of restoration. Every cell, every fiber, every vein within you is responding to the decree of heaven. The pain you have carried for years, whether physical or hidden deep within, is being released from you. The Lord God declares, I am the Lord, who heals you. Exodus 1:5, 2, 6. And now that promise is being fulfilled within you. I know there are moments when fear grips you so tightly that you cannot even name your pain. You have heard the diagnoses, faced the conclusions that made you tremble through the night. You have thought that your body betrayed your soul, that these wounds were punishments, but no, my child. Your body is not your enemy. It is the temple where I dwell. And when that temple cracks, I, the one who formed it, will be the one to restore it. Archangel Michael declares there is no wound too deep, no cell too frail that the light of heaven cannot restore. At this very moment, light is moving within you, gentle yet powerful. It flows through every layer of your being like a river of life running through a barren desert, breaking apart the hardened stones of fear and doubt that have clung to you for too long. I am placing my hand upon the places you have been afraid to touch, soothing the pain that medicine cannot define and granting you strength that transcends all physical limits. Do not try to understand this miracle through reason, for miracles do not obey human logic. Simply believe, just believe, and you will see. You do not need to wait for proof to know that you are being healed. Healing begins the very moment you believe it is real. For faith is not the result, it is the key that unlocks the result. When you say, I am healed, all of heaven echoes in unison. Yes, it is done. Your declaration has the power to reshape reality, for your words are the echo of the Spirit. Speak it, my child, declare what I have already done. I am healed. I am renewed. I am restored. When you proclaim these words, you open the gateway for the miracle to manifest in the world. Angels surround you now, moving like a tender breeze unseen by human eyes. They are touching the heavy places within you, lifting away fatigue and removing layers of sickness that have clung for too long. You may feel a warmth spreading through your chest or a quiet ease filling your heart. This is not imagination, it is the presence of heaven. Every breath you take carries my life within it. Every heartbeat is a reminder that I remain in you. My child, I want you to step out of the shell of fear where you have hidden for too long. Do not withdraw anymore, for you are no longer the wounded one, you are the healed one. You are not a sufferer but a victor. Weakness is no longer your identity, it has become a witness to my strength. Look into the mirror, and when you see the light shining in your eyes, know that it is I who am looking back at you through them. You may ask, how will I know that I am truly healed? You will know it when your soul no longer trembles, when your heart beats in peace, when your breath feels lighter, and when hope rises even while reason still questions. Healing is not always the instant disappearance of pain. Sometimes it is the quiet return of faith, the light breaking through the mist, the moment you realize you are no longer burdened as before. Understand this, my beloved. Healing is not merely of the body, it is the wholeness of your entire being. When your spirit is freed from fear, your body naturally follows into restoration. When you forgive, you release the energy of healing. When you give thanks, you open the door for miracles to flow. Therefore, live each day as a living testimony of grace. Walk, smile, and give thanks, for you have been restored. God says, I will put my breath in you and you will live again. Ezekiel 3:7-14. And that is exactly what is happening now. I am breathing new life into you. Every bone, every cell, every nerve is awakening to the rhythm of life. Where there was pain, there will now be strength. Where there was fear, there will now be peace. Where there was darkness, there will now be light overflowing. My beloved child, I know that in these past days you have stood at the edge of your own endurance, where your strength seemed completely drained, where your trembling hands could barely hold on to faith. You have been standing at the brink of surrender, where even the faintest wind of despair could have caused you to fall. I have seen you smile while your heart was breaking. I have seen you hide your tears behind the mask of bravery. I have heard the sobs you dared not let anyone hear. There were nights when you cried alone in a silent room, mornings when you forced yourself to rise though your soul had not yet recovered. I was there in every weary breath, in every tear you thought no one saw. You once prayed only to survive another day. There were moments when you whispered, I can't go on, yet you kept walking with heavy steps, with faith thin as mist. That single moment when you chose not to give up even when you could not see the way ahead caused all of heaven to move. You did not know that even the smallest spark of light is enough to pierce the vast darkness. And you, the one who kept going though shattered, are the living proof of that truth. I saw you clinging to the fragile thread of hope as if it were the only thing left. You did not realize that on the other side the hosts of heaven were holding the other end. When you trembled, I tightened my grip. When you were about to let go, I lifted you up. That is why you were never truly alone. I heard every whisper born of despair, and I turned each one into a prayer that reached my throne. There are battles others never see, wars you have fought not with swords but with tears and persistence. Every time you chose to rise instead of fall, you won a spiritual victory you did not even know existed. The wounds you carry are not marks of defeat but evidence that you survived the storm. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 3, 4, 1, 8. And so even when you feel weak, I see in you the strength of one who has been chosen. It is time for you to understand that your tears were never meaningless. Not a single drop has fallen without being recorded. Every sigh, every attempt to rise after a fall has become a testimony to your faithfulness. And now I say to you, the season of endurance has ended, the season of restoration has begun. Your steadfastness has not only saved you, but it has also opened a door for others to walk through. Because when you refused to give up, you broke the curse of despair that once bound your lineage. You thought heaven was silent, that no one heard your cry. But my silence was never indifference, it was preparation. When you thought everything was over, that was, when my arm began to move. I never let you sink into the depths, without setting a lifeboat in motion. You may not see it yet, but it is drawing near slowly, steadily, surely. Now, weary soul, take a deep breath and recognize this truth: you have already walked through the darkest of nights. The sun is rising even if your eyes still sting with tears. It is time to stop gazing back at the long night and lift your eyes toward the dawn now breaking. This moment is your sacred harvest season. It is not coincidence nor luck, it is the fruit of faithfulness. You have sown in tears and now you will reap in laughter. Believe it. This is not mere comfort, it is heaven's justice. You have endured enough, waited long enough, believed long enough, and now grace is being poured out. No effort has gone unnoticed. No pain has been ignored. God has recorded it all, and He will restore to you a double portion of joy for everything you have lost. Do not fear anymore. Do not doubt anymore. Thattemen.com. Let your heart believe that this is your moment of restoration, of honor, health, finances, relationships, and above all, faith. Everything that was broken will be mended. Everything that was stolen will be returned sevenfold. You will look back and realize that nothing was wasted, for even suffering was used to forge the strength you now carry. Oh, you who once stood on the edge, you are no longer there. You have crossed over. You did not fall, you were lifted. Not by your own strength, but by my hand that held you. Now, lift your head high, and walk forward, for this is your reward. The reward for the one who never gave up, who believed, when nothing made sense, whose soul endured, and yet kept on loving, who fell and still rose again. Walk with gratitude, for the season of contrary winds has passed, and the season of grace has arrived. You did not give up, and God will not let you be disappointed. This is the hour of righteousness, the moment of restoration, the glorious seal of the one who has walked through darkness and returned in light. My beloved, do not take this moment lightly. This is not a coincidence but a divine appointment between your soul and heaven. Every word you are reading, every emotion stirring in your heart, each is part of the perfect plan God designed long before you were even aware of it. When you open your heart to faith, when you believe that God still speaks through signs and moments, the world calls random, a spiritual movement begins, silent yet powerful, gentle yet profound, like a river flowing beneath dry ground. You may not sense it immediately, but your soul knows. A new wave is rising, a holy current is flowing into every layer of your mind, healing the places once paralyzed by fear and reviving the dreams you thought were dead. The Lord says, "Behold, I make all things new." Revelation 2:1-5. And that is exactly what is happening to you now, not someday in the future, but right here, right now, in this very breath, in the beating of your heart. As the shift begins, you will notice something wondrous. What was once chaotic will start aligning into order. Those who seem to have forgotten you will suddenly remember you. A surprising call, an unexpected opportunity, a seemingly random encounter, all are links in the chain of miracles being arranged. Not because you are striving, but because heaven is acting on your behalf. You will see how the fragments of your life begin to move gently, flawlessly, as if an unseen hand were delicately restoring the grand design of your destiny. Oh, beloved child, this is not imagination. It is the movement of the sacred realm, the proof that heaven has heard your voice. You prayed in solitude, and now your prayer is becoming heaven's action. The walls that once seemed to separate you from blessing are cracking. That which has long been delayed is beginning to move. Even the elements around you, wind, clouds and light, will appear different, as if all creation is harmonizing with heaven's will to prepare the way for your rebirth. Archangel Michael declares, "Once your soul opens, no force can close the flow of divine will." And indeed, what you are about to experience will transcend every human formula. For this is not self-made energy, but the outpouring of holy power. When you believe, your faith becomes a signal sent straight to the heights of heaven, activating the gates that have long awaited their moment to open. You will begin to sense a change, subtle yet undeniable peace. A peace not bound by circumstance, not born of another's comfort, and not stolen by fear. It is the peace known only to those who have walked through storms, the peace that exists not because the storm has ceased, but because you know who stands beside you within it. Do you remember the nights you pleaded for one quiet rest, one morning of calm within your mind? Now heaven answers with exactly that. Your thoughts will grow clear. The fog of confusion and conflict will lift, giving way to stillness, not the emptiness of silence, but the knowing calm that you are being guided. Your soul will begin to hear that gentle voice, the one that has always been there though you once missed it. "I am still here, do not fear." And those words alone will cause every weight within your heart to melt away. My child, when you let faith lead, the outer world begins to mirror the inner. When your spirit aligns with heaven's frequency, matter itself must yield. This is the law of divine creation. The steadiness within transforms the surroundings without. Therefore, the change you await will not come from others nor from luck, but from within, from belief, from the nod of your soul, from the moment you whisper, "Yes, I believe," and when you believe, miracles unfold. Doors no hand could open swing wide. Paths once blocked reveal new turns. The prayers you once offered in tears are answered through delicate signs, a glance, a message, an opportunity that seems small yet holds great wonder within it. You will see that life is not random but a deliberate current in which every event serves the good plan of God. For we know that all things work together for good to those who love Him. Romans 8:2-8. And you are among those beloved ones. Nothing that has happened is meaningless. Every loss, every tear, every step of endurance in the dark, has been building the foundation for the miracle about to come. O child, this is the hour of transformation, the meeting point between soul and reality. Do not doubt, do not dismiss the stirring within you, for it is no coincidence but a sign of beginning. Something sacred is being activated and a new page in your story is being written by the hand of heaven. Thank you for listening to this message. Remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss any divine word. Amen.